Next scene. This is my nephew. Xanna was sitting on the ground, one hand over her face. Okay, Cosmo. How do you say your hair is lovely and you have fantastic shoes? Cosmo sat up straight and cleared his throat. Xanna pretended to listen to him like she was talking to one of the Alliance. Your hair is lovely and you have fantastic shoes, and your outfit is just to die for, Cosmo told Sophie. She giggled. Xanna lifted her head up out of her hand. He said it right. And not only did he say that, he tossed in an outfit compliment. How can you're a fat, ugly-ass bitch with fungus on your toes mean that? Makoki asked Cosmo. He shrugged. Xanna turned to Sophie. How do you say thank you? Xanna asked and immediately pretended to listen to a horde person. Thank you, Sophie said. Yes! Xanna cheered again. She began to do a victory dance in her mind. Sophie smiled because she had said it right. Her friends looked at her. How can you're a tomato head mean that? They all thought. They stopped thinking when something on Fanero's person began to ring. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a blue cell phone, and looked at the caller ID. I'll be right back, he told Xanna and walked away. Xanna looked at everyone else. Yes, class is over. After she said that, everyone plopped over onto the ground. Finally, my tail is killing me. Makoki and Khadga said simultaneously. Fanero came back and walked up to Sophie. That was her. She wants us to come back home for dinner. Xanna heard him whisper. Cosmo should have heard it too, but he was busy trying to get Neuraxis to stop flirting with Mittens. Leave her alone! She's not interested! Neuraxis ignored Cosmo and continued his flirting. That is just so gross! Neuraxis, stop flirting with that thing and get over here! Khadga commanded his pet. And you come over here, Mittens! Mittens immediately walked to Cosmo, and Neuraxis followed Mittens. Neuraxis! Khadga shouted at his pet. He ignored him and began to flirt with Mittens again. She hid behind Cosmo. He followed. Then she hid on Cosmo's front side. He still followed. After that, Mittens, Neuraxis, and Khadga ran in circles around Cosmo. Hey guys, cut it out! I'm getting dizzy! Fanero rolled his eyes, then grabbed Khadga by his collar and grabbed Neuraxis by one of his front legs. Come on guys, we got to go! Thank God, Khadga mumbled as he wiped dust off of his shirt. Fanero gave him a blank look while he wasn't looking. Then he was about to put Neuraxis back on the ground because he was squirming and trying to bite him. Don't! If you do that, he'll try to flirt with that elf's cat, Khadga whispered to his friend, pointing his left index finger at Cosmo behind his right hand. Whatever, let's just get going, Fanero said and handed the squirming spider to Khadga. Yeah, don't get your ears in a bunch. The Draenei waved his free hand passively. Fanero slowly reached a hand to touch his ear again. Sophie walked over and put it back down to his side. Meathead, she told Khadga. Sonya giggled. You're just jealous because I'm off the market. Khadga stuck his tongue out. Sophie rolled her eyes. Yeah, that's it, Khadga. Will you two stop bickering so we can get going? Fanero asked. Sophie and Khadga shut their mouths. That's better, he said and turned to face the road. He gasped when he realized that he hadn't said goodbye to Xanna and her friends. Fanero turned around and ran straight to Xanna. He picked up her hands and held them in his. She blushed a little and stared at her hands. She didn't even realize that the other guys were growling. Xanna. He took his hands away from her and took something off of his right ring finger. He placed it on Xanna's right ring finger. I want you to have this in case we never meet again. Xanna looked up at him. Never meet again? She said with a frown. Well, yeah, I got to go to Stormwind and you have to continue your road trip with your friends. You're going to Stormwind? Fanero nodded. Yeah, I got this thing to do and... That's cool, we're going to Stormwind too! What? Everyone else shouted. Oops, idiot. I knew it, Khadga yelled. She does want to go on a killing spree. I said let's take her to the guards, but you said no. Let's not take her to the guards. This is just proof that you are in love with her.